So, when you picture a 6th century Buddhist master, what comes to mind? Probably meditation, right? Philosophy? Well, what if I told you that one of the greatest Buddhist thinkers of all time, a monk named Zhiyi, left behind a secret legacy, one that had less to do with enlightening the mind and more to do with healing the body? Yeah, let's get into this.
And this quote from a modern doctor of Chinese medicine, it just nails it. This is the core idea we're talking about today. The understanding that your breath isn't just some poetic metaphor for life, it's a literal tool. It's actual medicine that you can use, an idea that, honestly, modern science is only just now starting to catch up with.
All right, so let's properly meet the man of the hour. This is Zhiyi. He lived way back from 538 to 597 CE, and he is an absolute giant in East Asian thought. But, as we're about to see, he was kind of leading a double life. He left behind two completely different but, equally powerful legacies. And you can really see that split right here. On one side, you've got the Zhiyi everybody knows, the famous Buddhist master. This is the guy who organized the entire Buddhist canon and basically shaped how people meditate in East Asia for centuries. But then, there's this other, quieter legacy, the physician of breath, who developed a practical clinical system using sound to treat specific organs. Two sides of the same incredible mind. Now, here's the really crucial thing to get about Zhiyi. He wasn't so much an inventor. His real genius was as a synthesizer. He didn't just dream the stuff up out of thin air. No, what he did was he took two massive, powerful traditions that already existed, and he built a bridge between them. So what were these two worlds? Well, coming from one direction all the way from India, you had these Buddhist theories about breath and what they called the subtle body. And then, right there at home in China, you had this incredibly sophisticated system of medicine, with its ideas about Qi, meridians, and the 5 elements. Zhiyi was in the perfect spot to see how these two systems could actually talk to each other. And when he brought them together, wow, the result was something completely new. It wasn't just philosophy anymore, and it wasn't just medicine. It was this incredible hybrid, a contemplative medical practice, a way to use the tools of deep meditation for direct physical healing. So let's get to the heart of it. The core of his practice is something called the Liu Qi. That literally translates to the 6 breathings, but most people know them as the 6 healing sounds. This is his masterpiece, and it's all based on a really simple but profound idea about how we breathe out. And Zhi himself explained it so simply. Think about it. We all pretty much breathe in the same way, right? Through the nose, but we can breathe out in a whole bunch of different ways. And by changing the shape of your mouth, the sound, the vibration of that exhale, you can actually create different effects inside your body. Just 6. 6 different ways to breathe out. And each one was designed to vibrate, to resonate with, and to heal a specific organ system in the body. So you're probably wondering, what are they? Okay, here it is. This is basically the user manual. Each sound is like a specific prescription. So, for example, if you're dealing with anxiety or restlessness, the system points to the heart, and the sound is a gentle ha. Feeling angry or notice your eyes are strained? That's the liver system, and the sound is a soft shoo. And then you have things like the triple burner. You can just think of that as the body's overall regulatory system, which has its own sound, he. It's a map connecting sound to feeling to organ. I know what you might be thinking. This looks kind of complicated, but honestly, the actual practice is incredibly simple. Let's just quickly walk through how you could do your very first session right now. First things first, the setup. You just find a comfortable place to sit, somewhere you can keep your back nice and straight without being stiff. You let your breath calm down for a second. And then you just bring your focus, your attention, to your lower belly, an area called the dantian, which is seen as your body's energy center. All right, you ready? The whole practice boils down to 4 simple steps. 1, you breathe in slowly through your nose, right into your belly. 2, and this is the most important part, you get your mouth ready to make the sound before you start to exhale. 3, you let the sound out, slowly and quietly. And I mean quiet. These aren't loud chants. They're more like a whisper, a gentle vibration. And 4, you just pause for a moment, notice how you feel, and then you're ready for the next one. That's it. So how do you actually use this? Well, you've got 2 main options. You can be super targeted, like if you're feeling really anxious, you could just do the ha sound for the heart a few times. Or if you're just looking for general wellness, like a daily tune-up, you can simply go through all 6 sounds in order. Simple as that. When you really step back and look at this whole system, you realize it's pointing to a much bigger idea, a philosophy that's pretty different from how we usually think about health. It's about this unseen connection that Zhiyi was tapping into 1,500 years ago. Man, this quote just says it all, doesn't it? In the worldview where this practice was born, there was no sharp dividing line between your body and your mind. They were never seen as separate things. So they never had to figure out how to reconnect them. You don't just treat the mind or just treat the body. You treat the whole system at once. And breath? Well, that's one of the master keys to the whole system. And that's really the main thing to take away from this whole story. What Z created wasn't just some clever intellectual theory. It was a tool, a practical clinical tool designed to get immediate, real results that you could actually feel in your own body. It was a way to use the simplest thing we all have, our own breath, to take an active role in our own health.
So it kind of leaves you with a big question, doesn't it? In a world where we're always looking for the next complicated solution, if something as simple, as basic, as always there as our breath can be powerful medicine, what other simple, powerful healing tools might we be overlooking every single day?